And my epiphany and revelation was I need to find a way to duplicate myself. And the way that I was able to do that, long story short, was become an author.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you're new here. I have Dr. Jasmine Zapata with us today, or Dr. Jazz, as she is often called. She is a board certified pediatrician, an author, a speaker, a book coach. She is the founder of Beyond Beautiful movement, which helps to uplift, inspire, and heal. And also, she helps busy professionals to actually get their book published, which she's helping me, inspiring me. We had one meeting which has kicked me in the butt to help me move forward. But if you are a busy professional who is looking to publish your book and you have all the excuses in the world not to, well, I'm going to send you over to what she's created is Motivation M.D Enterprises, which helps you. And so we're going to learn today a little bit more about Dr. Jazz and how she got to what she's doing today and how she helps others. So Dr. Jazz, welcome to the channel.
Thank you. I am so excited to be here.
It's amazing to try to introduce you and be like all the amazing hats you have. And I had the honor and privilege to hear a little bit more about you. I'd love to support the audience with getting to know a little bit more about you as well. Can you share a little bit more about your story?
Yes, thank you so much. As you mentioned, I'm board certified in pediatrics, and also I did a whole other residency and board certification in preventive medicine and public health.
Amazing.
I love finding ways to get outside of the clinic walls to impact social determinants of health. And that's actually how I really got started. I'll never forget being in the hospital when we were going through one of the residency rotations in the pediatric intensive care unit. We would have young child after young child come in to our hospital after failed suicide attempts. And that was so heartbreaking to me. And as I was there putting in medical orders, being on the team working to save these young children, I would always hear a voice inside of me saying, Jasmine, even though you wanted to be a doctor since you were 5 years old and you're doing so amazing as a physician working here in the hospital, you are called to get outside of these clinic walls and meet these young people before they even get here, letting them know you are beautiful, you can make it, stay encouraged, you are loved. You're supposed to be in schools, you're supposed to be in community centers, churches, nonprofit organizations, internationally, letting young people know that their life is worth living. They are important. They can make it. They are strong. And so I said, whew, I'm already working 80 plus hours a week, or should I say 80, less than 80 hours per
Uh-huh.
week per
Mm-hmm.
the law. But you're already working your butt off. I was like, how in the world am I going to get this message out and really impact these young people? And my epiphany and revelation was I need to find a way to duplicate myself. And the way that I was able to do that, long story short, was become an author. And that is what helped to birth my first solo book, which is called Beyond Beautiful. It's now a series now. Um, but Beyond Beautiful means you are more than what people see on the outside. Your true beauty and power and strength is on the inside. And so I wrote a poem and a song, and then that turned into a book, which now has turned into a book series. We've done national tour. We've partnered with YMCA, Boys and Girls Club, different school districts in multiple different states to implement the Beyond Beautiful curriculum. It's turned into a summer course and been translated into different languages and sent abroad. So,
Wow.
so many amazing things. And it all started with being in those hospital walls and wanting to make a difference and reach people outside of that. So that's big picture how I got started with becoming an author myself. And then other people came to me and said, Dr. Jazz, how can we do what you're doing? We have a story to tell. We have problems we want to solve. We want to become authors. Will you coach us and mentor us. And that is how I got started with that. And now we've helped over 200 authors nationwide write and self-publish their books and their stories so that they can help other people. And I'm just getting started and I'm excited. I'm excited to be here.
I am so, I mean, hearing that story, I had when I first heard that glimpse of that and then heard it, it just every ounce of what you said, it just fuels how much need there is for people to know that their life is worth living.
Yes.
And the amount of mental health distress that are impacting our adults and how that impacts our children and just this ripple effect that you can help with this transgenerational intergenerational trauma. And for the adult humans, we know physician suicide is a really big issue right now. Many of us didn't have these books when we were kids. So that inner child, right, to know that you're that have the beyond beautiful movement, and as you're reading this book to the child, to really absorb that for yourself. And
Yes.
as somebody who it had, it had my own experience, and I like pause there because the question of worthiness and is your life worth living has been an ongoing healing process for me. So it's so lovely and beautiful, beyond beautiful, that you've
Yes.
really committed to this mission of helping everyone to see that their life matters.
Yes. And it's interesting that you said adult humans, because even though this book um, was originally written for preteen and teen girls, I have adult women of all age ranges say, I needed this book. I read
Mhm.
this book for
Mhm.
me.
Yep.
And some mornings I wake up and I have to say the Beyond Beautiful affirmation to myself every day. Or when I'm feeling bad or discouraged, I actually recite it to myself. And so it can definitely be uplifting. If there's time, I want to say the affirmation
I
here on.
want to, I mean, I want to, can we make time for it
Want to
right
hear
now?
it?
Yeah, I do
Okay,
want to
let's
hear
do it.
it. That was my next
So
question.
this is the first book in the series, Beyond Beautiful: A Girl's Guide to Unlocking the Power of Inner Beauty, Self-Esteem, Resilience, and Courage. And I have other books that I've written for boys and girls about mental health and resilience. But this book series, Beyond Beautiful, is written for young people who identify as girls and adult women as well. But the Beyond Beautiful affirmation is at the beginning of every single book in the Beyond Beautiful series. And it goes like this: Today will be a great day. I'll achieve all I set my mind to. I cannot be stopped. I can do anything I want to because I'm beyond beautiful. I'm beyond beautiful. I'm courageous. I'm resilient. I'm confident. I'm creative. I am talented, intelligent, unique, and innovative. I'm worth it. I deserve it. I am treasured. I am loved, and I deserve every blessing that is coming from above.
Beautiful. That, oh my gosh. And for the people listening, I just, to recommend auditing their energy and how that made them feel.
Mm, yes, yes. I love when I work with when I we do several workshops, conferences, and again I mentioned it we've partnered up and turned it into a summer camp. And when I have the young girls recite the Beyond Beautiful declaration, they always like are kind of quiet because they're trying to look cute or be cool. And I'm like, no, let's stop. You have to say it with your full heart. There are so many people in this world that would try to tear us down. There's so many people that look at young women, particularly minority young women, and say statistics show you're not going to graduate high school, you're going to get pregnant, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. Or even if that doesn't apply to you, just imagine other people speaking negatively about you. Have you ever had anyone say negative words
Mm-hmm.
about you?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
everybody can raise their hand, no
Mm-hmm.
matter their
Mm-hmm.
background. And so then it's so important that we speak positivity into the atmosphere. We speak positive affirmations about ourselves because we can control that. So when you say this, you need to say it and talk to all those people who ever said anything negative or won't believe in you. And then you see them straighten their shoulders,
Mm-hmm.
say it really loudly, and it's so amazing. And then I'm not going to sing right now because I don't got my track and my background music, but it's actually a really upbeat, fun song as well. So we'll
Mm.
recite it. And then I've done this with youth and in adult spaces that I've gone to train on the curriculum. I'll have people come up on the stage and I teach them the song, play the music, and we're dancing and singing together. It's just so fun. It's a whole vibe and experience.
Is there any glimpse of this available publicly, or do you have to have a time with you in person? Because I know we can't record it right now, but is there something I can refer us to, or do we have to come experience this live and in
So
person?
I do that in my live experiences. And then also, there is an online curriculum that I have created, the Beyond Beautiful Empowerment course. And there's a facilitator training. And in that online course and facilitator training, it actually has the soundtrack for the song, the lyrics, and everything like that. So I haven't released it publicly yet. I actually did go to the recording studio and I've been toying around with the idea of like releasing it on iTunes or publicly. But right now, I do it when people invite me to come do live workshops and
Mm.
keynotes. And then when schools or different organizations get the license to use my curriculum with their students, kind of like train the trainer. And then I
Mhm.
have it there right for right now. But stay tuned though.
Yeah, stay tuned. And also, we'll make sure to have the links below if people like, well, I guess I got to have her live or grab some of the online curriculum in the meantime.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
and
it's so fun. It's important to bring messages of hope, resilience, and mental health to bring it alive and make it fun and interactive rather than just saying, go to a therapist. Therapy is important. Let me be clear. I got my own therapist. I
mhm.
love my therapist. And therapy is important, but a lot of times when people are facing mental health struggles or different adverse experiences, that's what people say, go to a therapist. But we need to make mental health resilience messages of hope, we need to make them exciting and interactive. And that's what I do. I love using
Mhm.
innovative strategies to promote mental health.
And I'm a huge advocate for therapy too. That's why I'm in training to become a therapist. And also, what you share is when we go to therapy, what I often find is that can pathologize normal or also individualize things that make you feel like you're the problem. Or what you presented there is a shared community and experience where there's a
Yeah.
lot of people struggling, coming together and saying, you are not alone. This is not a weakness of yours, but we're going to come together. And as a community, as humans are meant to be in, not isolated and shamed for their lived experience of what it means to be human, I find
Yeah.
that to be so healing because you're
Yeah.
not, it's a non pathologizing integration of understanding how our lives impact our mental, physical, spiritual wellness as a collective whole.
Yes, and I love the fact that you mentioned aspects of positive youth development or just in general strength-based healing. So a lot of times people do focus on like what's wrong with you, or and then it's moved to like, okay, trauma-informed strategies. What happened to you? But why are we focusing on what's wrong with people? Even what happened with them, let's shift to what is right with you.
Mhm.
Even in rubble, if there's one little seedling that's coming up of a flower, even if it's in the midst of so much chaos or trauma, what's that one positive thing? What's that one thing that gets you excited or that little spark inside of you? Let's foster that. Let's make it grow. Let's highlight and celebrate that. And I just love doing that. So I'm so glad you mentioned that.
Yeah. And even just thinking about the aspects of what's right with you can be if you're feeling so if people, the systemic structures that we have, if they're oppressed and you're feeling joyful, then I would think there might be something wrong with your nervous system. If you're
Yeah.
feeling depressed and that shows you like where that can turn into anger, which can turn into advocacy, like you're advocating, you're seeing this unmet need that needs nurturing and it needs actions that are oriented towards appropriate solutions where we can feel is like, okay, what is just like physicians in the healthcare system, what is this depression telling me? What is instead of numbing out, really explore, well, what are these signs that my mental health, that my physical body are demonstrating to me and what needs aren't being met. And a
Mm.
lot of it is this isolation, this unnecessary shame. So many things of what you're bringing to this table are just so important. And I appreciate the heck out of you.
Thank you. Thank you. I really am passionate about this topic. And you mentioned physician suicide earlier and again, and I've been personally touched by that with colleagues that I've personally worked alongside to mentor young women who want to get into the medical profession. And then I had a colleague that was working with me to do that, and then I was just devastated to find out that she died by suicide. I've had other people that I've been connected with and lost in that way. So this is something that we need to talk about. This is something that is so serious. And I'm so thankful that you're bringing awareness to this on your platform
Mhm.
and your new counseling that
Yes.
you're going to be doing. So important and so exciting, exciting. So thank you for that.
Yeah. And a sneak peek behind the scenes for people that weren't there in our one-on-one discussion was that I was talking to you about my enthusiasm over this topic of reclaiming the narrative. And you
Yes.
demonstrated what it was. It's like reclaiming the narrative, all these things, the way that when we're not doing that affirmation strong because we're told like, oh, don't be in the spotlight, or who are you to actually love yourself, right? You should just be
Yep.
quiet and silenced. And really, it's this power. I'm reclaiming my voice. I'm reclaiming my narrative because so many of our socialized narratives are contributing to harm. And so for anyone who is like, okay, I also am motivated. I'm hearing Dr. Jazz and I want to get my book out. That's what happened to me. And I was like, okay, I got to like figure out how to get on her schedule. And then you motivated me. I actually got a poem out. It's up for publication on Kevin M.D. called Reclaim the Narrative. This is how quickly Dr. Jazz's magic works.
Yes.
So if you're a physician, someone super busy, and you're like, sure, I want to write a book, or maybe you have like points of thinking that your voice doesn't matter, like boom, we just kind of bust that. And how do you help them?
Yes. So, the number one thing to do if you are thinking about writing a book, you want to find a way that you could take the things that were meant in life to try to knock you down or destroy you, but you survived, and you want to take that message of hope, inspiration, motivation, and share it with other people. The first thing to do is just make a decision that you can do it. Don't let anyone tell you you're too busy, you can't do it, it's too complicated and too hard, because yes, you can. You can do it. You just have to decide. Number one, I'm going to do it. Make a decision. The next thing is to decide on who specifically it is that you want to help and what problem you're going to help them solve. Every book is just simply a solution to a problem. I like to think about it as in the medical field, when people come into the doctor, they share what's wrong with them, and then the doctor is able to make a diagnosis, and then they create a plan. They might give them a physical therapy regimen. They might prescribe them some medicine, but the doctor gives them something to heal. So think about your book as a healing balm. Think of your book as a medicine. It's to solve a specific problem, though. You're not just going to give your book out to everyone. You want to know exactly who it is meant for and what specific problem it helps to solve. Okay. And so, for example, for me, I didn't even know how I was going to write the book or what the book was going to be about. I just knew that I wanted to help teen girls increase their confidence and self esteem. That's all I knew I wanted to do. And then once I knew that, then you're able to craft the book outline, craft the chapters, craft the cover design, craft your marketing strategy. You're able to easily do that once you first decide, who is it that my heart is called to, that I
Mhm.
am supposed to serve? What specific problem is this book going to help solve? And then we have a whole triple P book writing system that we use with our authors to help them get their books out quickly and easily. And so that's how you do it. Just make a decision and then decide on who you want to help. And then the rest is pretty easy after that.
And for those people, it seemed like you had a really clear vision of who you want to help. And for the people that are like, me and maybe part of what was like for you, I often think about we usually write the books we needed. That we
Hmm.
see that there wasn't
Yes.
it wasn't there when we needed it. And I heard you mention to me about how that can be our own healing journey. Writing can be part of our own healing journey. Can you share a little bit more about your observations in that?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked about that. I love talking about this. So, from a and oh, it's so great because I love talking to you because of your therapy background and the brain and psychology and things. So, even from a neurochemical standpoint, when there's studies that show when you help other people, it actually releases oxytocin, it releases endorphins, it actually releases like a chemical change in your body that helps you to um, manage your emotions, relieve physically relieve pain, overcome depression. There's chemicals that are released that actually help with those things when you help other people. So when you are writing your story, especially in the way that our triple P method has authors go through, you are not just writing a memoir of like from start to finish, here's an autobiography of my life, and that's it. You are shaping the book so that readers can learn from your experiences. And then every chapter ends with some powerful encouragement, letting the reader know here are some practical tips you could use in your own life. Here's some words of encouragement for you. So you're taking what happened to you and the things in your life, but you are rewriting the narrative
Mhm.
and you are using it as a strategy to help other people. So it's great for the other people, but from a neurobiologic standpoint, by you even shaping your narrative and life story in that way to position it to help other people, teaching them the lessons that you learned, it's healing for you. And so I think that's just so fascinating and amazing. And so that combines narrative therapy
Mhm.
with just the research studies that talk about the neurobiologic effects in humans when they help other people. There's actual chemical changes. And so it's so exciting.
Yeah, it's a gift to the people. And in not sharing your perspective just before we recorded, so I had a really hard time with a period of 2016 that plays over and over and over in my head. And I'm like, this
Mm,
is gonna keep playing over and over and over in my head if I keep it
yeah.
silent. So I finally felt it was time, and sometimes when we have wounds, they're gaping open, and
Yeah.
sometimes we share it in bits that feel appropriate and that pace us in order to support healing and whatever it looks like. And I was finally able to verbalize that story, and I realized what I was really needing in order to reclaim that narrative was for it to be witnessed. And I was witnessing myself saying it, but I live with anorexia, and anorexia was with me when I almost died from it, but it was the only thing with me, so therefore I developed a complicated relationship with it because I'm like it was the only thing there with me besides a higher power, which I didn't have a really strong ground grasp on at the time. But it's hard for me to let go because it was the only thing there that knows that story.
Mhm.
And so in sharing it today, it will go up later this week. But it felt like since I relive that story every day and sharing it, I'm reclaiming that narrative because now the people are with me in that story, even though it happened in 2016. It feels like I relive it each day, and therefore, by inviting other people to be there with me, I'm like, oh my gosh! And the reason I filmed it today is because I was having this conversation with you, and you put that into my soul. And like, and one thing that you said to me, and I was like, well, who cares? Like this story, I go on YouTube. There's so many people talking about anorexia recovery, and what did you say to me about if we have a topic that seems like everyone's writing about?
No one has your specific story, your specific perspective. No one can steal it. No one can say, oh, this is mine. No one can forge or steal or anything because this is your story that you are sharing. And your unique perspective is going to reach someone. And even if it's just one person who reads your story and connects with you uniquely, it's all worth it. And even if we talked about this before too,
Yep.
even if it doesn't even help other people, but that one, the person that it does help is you,
Hmm.
it's all worth it as well.
Yeah, that was the bone chilling moment when I heard Dr. Liz Trainer, who came on my channel,
Yeah.
said she shares her story to save lives, and if it's only hers, that's enough.
Yes.
And
Yep. You
going,
taught me. Yeah. I loved. I need to see that. You need to send me that
yeah,
episode
I
with
will.
her.
But it
I want
goes
to watch
right
the
in.
whole episode.
Yeah, you're helping everyone to know that their life matters, right? That everybody, you're reclaiming the voice. And when, so part of me, anorexia came from, I was told my voice didn't matter. And then so I would suppress it and silence it and want to be small. And I would use the eating disorder to speak for me because I couldn't get it out here. And so
Mm,
therefore by reclaiming it, whether you're writing it, you're externalizing something. If we internalize, then we lead to more suffering. So it's this externalization of this and this gift to other people who need to know they're not alone. And so much of our healing happens in community and relationships, but in our individualistic society, it's promoting unwellness. So,
mm.
okay. So we could talk forever on that. And like I already said, we got it, Dr. Jazz got to come on a few times. Got to be a recurring guest. But
Oh, I am happy to do it. You better
you
actually invite me back.
I I am a one integrity first is my number one core value. So
You're
absolutely.
gonna get me excited. Get me
Okay.
excited.
And I'm going to get the audience excited. So you'll be a recurring guest as long as you accept the invitation. But you've said the triple P a few times. I'm curious how much you would like to share with the audience
Yes,
about
I
that.
love to. So I actually have a book on writing a book. It's called the Triple P Book Writing Blueprint: How to Write Your Book in as Fast as a Weekend. And so I look at writing a book in the same way as having a baby. Writing a book is like having a baby. And one of the things that I do now clinically, I still practice, I do public health leadership work, and then I still practice clinically. I can't get rid of that. And my clinical shifts are in the newborn nursery. So I actually have seen probably now hundreds of thousands of vaginal deliveries, C-sections, so many babies being born. And over the several years that I've been doing this, I realized that writing a book is just like having a baby. How so? So when you are in labor, there's pain and there's contractions. And then after that, the next piece. So pain, then you push. There's the contractions and the pain. We're preparing you, helping open your cervix, and now you're pushing that baby out. And then after the baby comes out, when you get to hold that baby, you feel like you are walking out your purpose. I know I have 4 kids, and some of them were born vaginal, some of them C-section. No matter how they were, when I actually got to hold them and look in their eyes, I felt like, wow, this is definitely fulfilling my purpose in life. They get to go walk out their purpose. So writing a book, I realized, wow, it's pretty similar. The first thing, pain. All the pain that you have been through in your life, all of the hard times, all the things that were meant to destroy you, all the tough nights you had to cry, all of that, those things that you endured, it was all preparing you. Those contractions that birthing people have when they're getting ready to have a baby, that hurts, but it's necessary. It's getting you in position and ready to be able to push. And so everything that you went through, even though it was hard, it was necessary. And so that pain actually helps us to prepare for the book writing process. And the way that it does that is it helps you to create your purpose driven outline. You basically take the pain, you think about the pain that the reader is in, and then that helps you to create your 7 chapter outline where you give them a solution. So that pain that you've been through helps you to actually shape your outline for your book. Also, it represents that all the pain that you had to go through was preparing you for this moment. The next thing is push. Now, when you push a baby out, I ask, and you know, because you've had to go through training and schooling, and you know how birth works. When you are pushing a baby out, the question is, do you push for 5 minutes and then say, oh, I'm busy. Let me check out the hospital. I got to work. I got a meeting. I got to do this and that. I'm going to come back next month. And then I'm going to push another 20 minutes. And then, oh, I got to go. I'm going to come back a year later because I got busy. And then I'm going to come back and push and we'll have the baby then. Does it work like that, Dr. Jillian?
That sounds like how I'm trying to give everybody.
It does not work like that. When you are having a baby, when you are in labor, and I will say, like, I know not all labors are natural births are pushing out, but just for the purposes of this, when you are pushing, when you are in labor, whether you're pushing or have a C-section, you walk in that hospital when you're having those contractions and you say, I am not leaving this hospital until my baby is out. You enclose yourself in that hospital, whether you're there a day, 4 days, it's a confined period of time where you have to cancel all your meetings, appointments. You go in for a divine, life changing event and you are laser focused. The whole entire community is not in that delivery room with you. You have maybe a delivering provider, a midwife, a doula, maybe a small handful of close loved ones, but you're secluded and you take a concentrated period of time to deliver that baby. A lot of authors that I see that are not successful with writing their books is because they're not treating writing a book like a seed planted inside of you.
Mhm.
It's been growing and growing and now it's time to come out. They're not treating writing their book as seriously as they would the childbirth process. They'll try to start and stop, try to do it alone, let life happen, come back a year later, and it doesn't work. And so that's part of our method as well. We help authors get their book done in as fast as a 48-hour concentrated period of writing using a system that we created. So um, that's how writing the book represents having a baby with the triple P method push. So pain, push, and then finally purpose. After the book comes out, you leverage it to walk in your purpose. Just like you look at a baby's eyes, I have a little 1.5-year-old right now. I look in his eyes and I say, wow, your eyes are going to see things that I'm never going to see. Your eyes are going to witness and see things happening in the future that I'm not going to be here for, just chronologically based on our age difference. The same thing, what you write in your book is going to be still impacting people when you're no longer living. That
Mhm.
is a huge deal. And so that when you write your book, you're literally delivering your purpose and your legacy.
Mhm.
And so that's big picture triple P method. Writing a book is like having a baby, the pain, push, purpose. And then we also apply a similar method to how you write each chapter. And so I'll stop there, but I get really excited when I talk about this.
Yeah, for anyone that's interested, of course, we're going to have to send them right to you. And you can, again, find that information down below. When the word legacy really came to my mind as you were saying that, part of what, I mean, everything you said there, I totally fit the person who hasn't birthed the book because of all those things that you said. So that certainly resonated with me. But having that legacy and capacity to say, you know what, my voice matters and to give it to the world, that's like the ultimate gift, not only to yourself, but those who get to cherish your words even when you're gone.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
chilling. It's chilling to think about in like a very motivating way. And also with uh, my experience of nearly dying, I noticed I publish things quickly because I'm afraid I'm going to die before my book gets done. But I think this groundedness of, okay, well, I'm still here and I'm going to birth my book because Dr. Jazz told me a lot of great tips on how to do so. I can grab her triple P book if I need some motivation and work with her in order to get it out there. So
And
if
you have multiple books. You know that, Dr.
I
Jillian.
do, and they're
Okay,
slow.
so
They're
let's just be
slow.
clear to the audience. She's putting out not just one, she has multiple books inside of her. So I just had to
We had
let
to speak it to the universe so they can hold me accountable alongside you. And I'm grateful to be able to re-listen to your wise words here. And we've talked about so many great things. Or any last words you want to leave to the audience?
I just want to say that it is so important to understand and recognize that your voice matters, your life matters. You deserve to have authentic joy in life. You deserve to have peace in your life. You deserve to have your time back. So if you are not living the life that you have imagined, if there's dreams of things that you wanted to do, if there's books that you know in your heart you are supposed to be writing, if there are nonprofits you're supposed to be starting, if there are other clinical specialties you know you're supposed to be switching to because you don't like the one you're in, whatever it may be. If you're on a job and you hate it and you know you're supposed to be doing something else and you'll know it, nobody will have to tell you. Don't delay. Right now, after this episode, really sit down in a quiet space and map out a plan. Even though I might not be where I want to be right now, whether it is financially, whether it is emotionally, whether it's physically, socially, career wise, whatever it is, map out a plan on how you are going to move a little bit closer to that life that you desire because life is too short. So let's do it and you deserve it. And that's what I want to say. And I love you all. Even though I haven't met you personally, I love you all and just so thankful to share this space today. So thank you so much, Dr. Julia.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's such a perfect message for the channel that's a life true to you. And to know that we can speak to the audience with love and knowing they matter without having to know who they are, what they've done, what's on their CV. None of that is going to provide us with any information that we need in order to declare with confidence that we love you, that your life matters. So thank you for being here. And Dr. Jazz, we're going to give them a few ways to connect with you down below, but what's the best way to connect with you?
Yes, I would say we talked about a lot today. So I would say if you want to personally connect or you have questions about anything that we talked about, send me an email to hello@drjasminezapata.com. And we'll also drop some other links and items below on ways to get connected.
Awesome. And thank you to the audience for being here. Please drop your reflections, your questions, your insights down below. We love to hear from you. Until next time.